second half is sort of an example to convince your players on like the way you have to play, and it's a point to prove for you as well, and to prove like this is how we want to play just from now on.
Yeah. You know, sometimes it's like I always think about to say something about the experts in former players or former coach. But no, I will not do it. I'll give you too much things to speak about, and it's too much noise for us.
So I do want to speak about Eric Garcia. I know that I talked about Yamal, Rashford, Lewandowski for the match between FC Barcelona and Celta Vigo, but one of the players that I kind of did ignore, it was about Eric Garcia, which is the reason why we're going to be talking about him today. Later in this video, we're also going to be talking about Thierry Henry and what Hansi Flick also said during the post-match press conference after the match between Barcelona and Celta Vigo. It's going to be revolving around those parties because I do think that Hansi Flick has taken some hits at Thierry Henry, and I'm going to be explaining what that means, right? So let's talk about Eric Garcia first, because Eric Garcia was phenomenal against Celta Vigo. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I think that for this season specifically, Eric Garcia has been a better right back compared to Jules Kounde. Eric Garcia has been better. I'm sorry. I know that you guys like Kounde, and I know like you guys like Kounde and the way that he provides assists, the way that he defends, the fact that he can support Lamine Yamal. But I think that all in all, Kounde has shown very little of that, and Eric Garcia has shown much more. Am I here to say that Eric Garcia is one of the best right backs in the world, like compared to the likes of Trent or Nuno Mendes or Hakimi or any of those like wingbacks or fullbacks in general? Would I put Eric Garcia in that category? I wouldn't say that either. But I think that for what we have, and the fact that Eric Garcia has been performing higher than Jules Kounde in the right back position, that it has to be applauded, because Eric Garcia is not a right back. He's not. This guy is a versatile player, somebody who can play, yes, as a right back, but also as a center back and also as a CDM. And so in this match, Eric Garcia has played 90 minutes, had 104 touches, so very much involved in this game. Barcelona do need him. And with a pass accuracy of 97%, so reliable, right? When he receives the ball and he wants to pass the ball to any of his teammates, he makes sure that that ball gets the pass completed, and that's it. Like 97% is something that you can't really like just shrug off. It's very impressive. And I think that, you know, he showed a lot of composure, great build-up play. And the fact that he played deep alongside with Frankie de Jong in the midfield as well, sometimes inverting himself from the right back position and maintaining that 71% of the possession, it's really good. Eric Garcia partook in that in a very impressive way. There were also many moments where Celta Vigo was like counterattacking us, and like we were getting caught at the back, and only for the to see Eric Garcia track back as fast as possible and try to like intercept or try to like tackle the ball away. Eric Garcia was always the first one there, very fast when in terms of tracking back. However, I would say one thing. The reason why, like going back to what I said in the beginning, the fact that I don't put Eric Garcia in the same realm of Hakimi or Nuno Mendes is because Eric Garcia still lacks the attacking output and the pace to move forward, right? When he's out there trying to, when we're going for a quick transition to go on into to the attack, Eric Garcia is one of the slowest. He's not one of the fastest. So I think that even with that being said, I still think that going into the summer of 2026, I wouldn't be surprised if Hansi Flick says, I want to sign a brand new right back, and I want a right back that is pacey, somebody who's faster, somebody who can bring something different compared to Eric Garcia and Jules Kounde. Just simply have a faster right back, because Kounde is not the fastest, Eric Garcia is also not the fastest, and that comes by no surprise. They're both center backs. And so I think that a player like Vanderson could really fill in that gray area. Vanderson is somebody who is pacey, somebody who has done well for Monaco in the past 3 seasons, and so I want to see something like that. Like maybe if we say, okay, this is going to be a game where it's required for us to have fast wing backs or a fast right back or a fast left back, we can bring and call somebody in like Vanderson. And if in a different game, if Vanderson gets injured, maybe we don't need like a fast right back. Eric Garcia, Jules Kounde is fine. So all in all, I would say that Eric Garcia has been a phenomenal replacement to Jules Kounde. Kounde has been very underwhelming, and hopefully we get more out of Eric Garcia. Maybe Eric Garcia might even become faster as time does go by. He's still very young. He trains a lot, and it's clear as daylight. I don't know what's going on with Jules Kounde. I'm not going to say that this is going to be the end for Jules Kounde with FC Barcelona, but something has to change for the player himself. I know that confidence is missing, the composure is missing, and I say composure and confidence for a reason, because every time I saw Jules Kounde receive the ball, like way at the back on his side, he often makes a misplaced pass. I'm like, dude, like, relax. There's no need for you to, like, when you get pressed, don't lose the ball immediately, and especially in our own area. Eric Garcia is not like that, by the way. That is why Hansi Flick has used Eric Garcia over and over and over again, even with Kounde sometimes being available. So, yeah, I have been very happy with Eric Garcia's services. I remember when he scored that Champions League goal against Inter Milan back on May 2025. Amazing. He also netted in the Copa del Rey versus Barbastro back in January 2025. So he has been scoring goals here and there, also providing good assists in this season. So leadership, composure, the fact that he has so much adaptability, Hansi Flick has seen him as a very key player within our system today. And I think that with that being said, the fact that his contract also runs out in the summer of 2026, I would like to see Eric Garcia extend for like another 3 or 4 years. I think that Eric Garcia does deserve to stay. And there's a reason why Hansi Flick wanted Eric Garcia back in January 2025. Eric Garcia was supposed to go to Como. Eric Garcia was supposed to go back to Girona. And Hansi Flick said, hell no, I have a plan for you. And look at this plan that has been working out very well for both parties. So the fact that we went from almost losing Eric Garcia in January 2025 to now saying that he should renew and they have to work on that fast and maybe take Eric Garcia until 2030, that is something that should happen. I want Eric Garcia in this team, regardless whether Barcelona sign a brand new right back or not. Eric Garcia does deserve to stay because he can really fill us in multiple areas, whether it's us being weak in the center back positions because we're losing a lot of players in the right back position. Maybe worst case scenario, like in this next match against Athletic Club that's happening in 2 weeks, is Casado going to be ready? Who knows? The fact that Pedri's not going to be there, Frankie's also not going to be there, Gavi's not going to be there. What other CDMs do we have? We can call Eric Garcia. This is the reason why I think that Eric Garcia's time at Barcelona is more important than ever before. So that is going to be my take on Eric Garcia. Phenomenal player. Just got to clap it up for the guy because he came a long way. Everybody was saying that this guy is a finished youngster, somebody who is going to end up at Elche or something crazy like that, like 3 or 4 years ago, that he's not equipped, that he's not ready, that he's not Barcelona material. But now he's here in the starting 11 and doing very well. So let's talk about Thierry Henry, okay? And there's going to be a very big reason why I'm bringing him up. But let me give you guys a quote that he said last week. This is what Henry said. The number of goals Barcelona concede is excessive. You can't have that high line against big teams. And Thierry Henry has been saying this over the past 2 months. He has been saying they need to quit the high line. Let the high line go. Barcelona look dumb out there. They look stupid, that they don't understand it. They got to switch up their whole style. That has been Thierry Henry's main message to the camera and having us hear. A lot of people have been hearing what Thierry Henry has been saying, and there has been a lot of people that have agreed with Thierry Henry. They're saying Henry is right, that Hansi Flick needs to drop the high line. We look stupid out there. We're just letting any team just harass us and counterattack us and then score goals against us easily. Thierry Henry is right. Flick is wrong. And then we had Ruud Gullit, another commentator, who has explained, why insist on a plan doomed to fail? That high line defense is kamikaze. So clearly you can say that there's a lot of journalists, a lot of commentators saying Hansi Flick needs to drop the high line. Hansi Flick needs to have a whole other different plan. Hansi Flick, I heard somebody say like that his ego and his pride is too high, that he's unwilling to let go of his previous plan, that he is never willing to change. So with all that being said, after the match between Celta Vigo and FC Barcelona, Hansi Flick had to say something about this. Like, he was very serious. And this is what he said. I'm going to read it to you guys. Sometimes I want to respond to the football experts. You always say, quote, the football experts, when you're referring to retired and former players. But no, I don't know. If I responded, I will give you more to talk about. There could be even more noise around us. So that is a huge, but I mean huge quote coming from Hansi Flick, because the moment he said this, everybody was reposting it. Everybody knew exactly who Hansi Flick was talking to. And Hansi Flick was talking about people like Ruud Gullit, Thierry Henry, the fact that they were trying to advise Hansi Flick to drop the high line. And here's the thing. I know a lot of you guys are going to be like kind of like surprised. Maybe not, because you guys have been hearing me talk through this YouTube channel over the past 2 weeks. I have always been a proponent on Barcelona implementing the high line. I have always wanted to see that. I think that what Hansi Flick is trying to bring to this team is something that works. But I did also say that if you try to implement this system that we're doing, but you do it with like you do the bare minimum, you half-ass the plan, and you don't bring in 100% focus and pressure, and you guys are not organized, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. But I'm also not telling you guys that we need to drop the high line, that we can't play as high as possible and try to press as high as possible. I want to see that. Whatever Flick is promoting here, I want to see it. And I never said that Hansi Flick should drop his plan. I think that his system does work. It's just that these players need to back that idea and do it well. Because the moment you do it well, Barcelona will be very dominant. It has worked before. It can work again. Yes, you can make small modifications, but all in all, this is what we are. We are a team that's high risk, high reward. People like Thierry Henry and Ruud Gullit are saying something different. They're saying drop the high line against big teams. Barcelona are going to lose a lot of games. Barcelona are going to concede a lot of goals. They're doomed to fail. They're going to fail before they even play. That is a whole other different message. And because I am somebody who does back Hansi Flick's style, and I don't want him to drop this style, I want to say one thing. And I don't want you guys to take this as me trying to make fun of certain legends. Okay, I'm just spilling out the facts, and I want to be very real. And I want you guys to know that I listened to Hansi Flick for a reason and nobody else. Point number one, Thierry Henry was a coach before. He was. And Thierry Henry, while he was a coach, had total matches. He coached 66. Okay, let's remember that number. He has coached 66 games. In those 66 games, he had 25 wins, 11 draws, and 30 losses. 66 total games that he has coached and 30 losses. That is almost half, damn near half of the games that he has coached where he has lost. His overall win percentage is 38%, only averaging 1.33 points per 90 minutes. That is very low, and the fact that he also loses a lot does not help Thierry Henry's case on whatever he wants to say in the future. Yes, he has done well for the France under-21 team. Yes, he has done well for the Olympic team back in 2023, 2024. He does well there, and it showcases that Thierry Henry knows how to manage a team in international football. But in terms of club, in terms of trying to plan out something every weekend, or maybe even twice every week, in terms of club football, Thierry Henry is not that guy. Thierry Henry is not that guy that understands how to manage a football club or coach a football club. And so for him to say that he needs to drop Hansi Flick needs to drop the high line, that this is not working, that they're going to get exposed, first of all, bro, there is no reason for Hansi Flick to listen to you, with all due respect, when your coaching career has not been the best, especially in club football. I'm sorry. But you have almost relegated Monaco back in 2018 and 2019. You have almost relegated Monaco back in 2018 and 2019. You have failed with Montreal, and then you went on to coach France under-21 and then France, the Olympic team. And you guys did well. Yes, you guys did. But in terms of club football, it was disastrous. And that's the reason why, speaking to you guys now, Hansi Flick said these so-called football experts, like, he went like this, like, football experts, like, who are you guys? What do you mean football experts? I'm managing this team. We have been winning a lot. We're scoring a lot, and all I have to do is make small modifications. So who are you guys? You people, I have seen your guys' history on how you guys coach clubs, and it has not been going well. So why give me advice? And so that's the name of the game. And I'm going to continue to say this. I back Hansi Flick fully. I don't care how many people say, Kevin, you need to drop it, that you have to look at Barcelona's results and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But like, no, bro, like, if, first of all, I think that we have to give it time. We have to wait and see how it goes when Gavi, Pedri, Rafinha, Joan Garcia all come back. We'll see how Barcelona to perform. Then we can probably make some comments. But those players that I have just named, they're very important to Hansi Flick's system, and we need those players back, and then we'll see how we perform, how we dominate, how we concede at the back, right? These things are going to happen. It's always going to be fluctuating. Always. It's always going to be fluctuating. You cannot play the same in one season and replicate the exact same thing in the next one. You can't do that. You're going to go up and down, but as long as you maintain sort of like a decent line in terms of high-level football, you will be okay. I think that in the end, if these players truly do want it, and we have our returnees very soon, Barcelona can still win a lot of trophies this season. Winning La Liga and the Copa del Rey is something that you can't really just like shrug. It's really hard to win those type of titles. If they just win those two, I am completely happy with that. If we just win the Champions League and nothing more, fine. Right? But we're still winning titles. We're still seeing these players develop, getting better. And the fact that Barcelona have scored almost 40, I think they have like 40 goals already this season, maybe 45 goals this season. You guys know that we're only 16 to 18 goals away from tying last season's campaign in terms of goals scored. Do you understand how many goals we have been scoring this season? The only thing that needs to be fixed right now, it is at the back, and that can be fixed as long as we press well from the front, something that Flick has said before. We need to organize ourselves much more from the front and not allow space to come in through the midfield, and in that way, our defensive line will never get exposed. So let's see that play out first. Let's see what happens with Rafinha, Gavi, Pedri, all returning, with Yamal being at 110%, with Lewandowski now coming back in goal scoring form, forming that great partnership with Lamine Yamal. But that is going to be the name of the game. We have to trust Hansi Flick's project until the very end. And so let me know in the comment sections down below, do you guys agree with what Thierry Henry has been saying, or do you agree with the project that Hansi Flick has been building with FC Barcelona? That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.